Hey, what's going on guys? Jake Verdon Tech here, back with another video. And today we're going to be taking a look at the FANATEC CSL DD Ready to Race McLaren bundle that I recently picked up as I've been kind of getting into sim racing. So I've been into some racing games and simulation for quite a while now. On the simulation side, mostly flight simulators, but on the racing side, I never quite took the step in getting a wheel and pedal setup and kind of taking it to that next step of immersion. I've played Forza Motorsports and Forza Horizon titles for quite a while, but it's always been on a gamepad, which has still been fun. And I've just wanted to try out the wheel, gain that immersion factor, and get a little bit more serious into it and play some more intensive simulator titles. So talking about the device setup itself, this is the FANATEC CSL DD Ready to Race bundle. So the heart of this is going to be in the CSL direct drive 5 Newton meter force feedback setup. So this is a direct drive force feedback motor. And for those of you that don't know, some of your more just slightly lower price, more interim level wheel setups are going to be more of a belt drive system. But FANATEC's really jumped into the market and kind of targeted that lower price point and providing a very affordable direct drive solution, which gives a lot more detail and a lot better force feedback. For the wheel in this particular bundle, I opted for the FANATEC CSL Elite McLaren GT3 V2 wheel. This is considered a GT3 style wheel, but it's very close to along the lines of what you would see in different types of GT, some LMP2 stuff, and then also some different types of formula setups as well. But I really have come to like this wheel style, especially for motorsport. For other titles, if you're getting more into rally or different types of racing disciplines, this might not be the best choice. But if you're sticking around motorsports, whether it's, GT, LMP2, Formula, this will be a perfect style wheel to go with. And this particular package in this wheel, as you can see, it actually is Xbox Series S and X compatible and probably last gen as well. So it does have your Xbox home button, ABXY. So it kind of crosses over from Xbox to PC very easily. And you can also replace the button caps too if you aren't using it for Xbox. Even though the wheel is very lightweight, it has a very nice build quality to it. The paddles are very tactile, along with all the other buttons. So overall, great feeling wheel. I do like the LED display, which can display things like what gear you're in or serve as a secondary speedometer. So the pedals this bundle comes with are just the standard FANATEC CSL pedals, which build quality extremely nice, have a great feel to them. They feel really durable, which is definitely important when it comes to really anything in the sim rig, but especially when it comes to pedals, I feel like they can take a lot of abuse. This is probably what makes the bundle more affordable. These are pretty base model pedals from FANATEC as they retail for around $80, but they're definitely something that can, get you off the ground running. But this is probably something too that a lot of people opt to upgrade later on. But to start off, I think they're great. So far, I've had no issues with them and they've felt really good. Of course, more high-end pedals can get you a little bit more detail and accuracy, and if you would like to opt for it, you can buy an expansion clutch pedal. So that's an option as well. Right now, I just have the throttle and brake pedals. And because I'm mainly just shifting from the paddles, I don't have like a stick shift. But that's something you can also get in this ecosystem from FANATEC as well. So talking about the ecosystem, I think that's what really drew me to the FANATEC products and some other similar ones out there. I think Moza does some similar stuff as well. But it's kind of a very neat ecosystem when you get a bundle like this. The only USB device is going to be the direct drive motor, and everything else kind of connects. The wheel will just quick connect via a proprietary multi-prong connector on the back of the wheel and into the direct drive motor. And then from the pedals, it's just like an RJ11 connection. So I really like that. I definitely didn't want to steer towards something that would involve having a bunch more USB devices hooked up to my PC. So I definitely like that it's a much neater, higher end solution from FANATEC. Another accessory to mention, which doesn't come included with the bundle, but is definitely something to consider, is the FANATEC CSL desk clamp. So this is a mounting system where it mounts to the CSL direct drive motor, and then it is an adjustable clamp to where you can clamp it to pretty much any type of tabletop that you have. And for what it is, it works very well. It's nothing crazy to write home about. I mean, it is just kind of a plastic clamp, but it does hold everything very securely. My one gripe about it, and kind of my recommendation towards like a wheel stand of some sort, which I'll talk about later in this video, is kind of the posture that it puts you at. It kind of tilts the wheel up a little bit high with no option to tilt it down. So for me, having kind of a tall desk, it sat kind of awkward for me. I just felt like it was a little bit too tall. But other than that, I think it's a great solution if you're just trying to get something to mount the wheel at a very affordable price. And I have to say my desk is extremely awkward to mount things to because it has a lot of metal tubing underneath for framework. And luckily it was able to kind of fit around that and clamp to the desk. So it is pretty versatile depending on the type of surface you're mounting it to. To have a much more stable package and driving experience, I did opt for the Next Level Racing Wheelstand 2.0, and it is extremely sturdy and it kind of houses everything into one stand, which is nice. You can fold it up, you can stow it away if you need to. Not the most convenient because it is kind of heavy. Another very nice feature about it though, it does have a little tray that kind of sits on the floor behind the stand, which this allows you to lock in the casters of your office chair or gaming chair and give you a much more secure feel. So that way you don't feel like you're pushing away as you're, hitting the brakes or the throttle. Overall, it puts everything together quite nicely, and I definitely would recommend a wheel stand of some sort if you are able to. Going back to the FANATEC wheel setup, talking about the software a little bit, it is a very easy setup. I just installed the FANATEC software for this particular bundle. Once installed, I just did some driver updates for the hardware, did a calibration on the wheel, and that was pretty much it, and I really haven't touched it since. I found most of the adjustments, and I think that's kind of par for the course when it comes to sim racing, is most of your adjustments are made in the simulation software that you're running. So whether it's Aceta Corsa, iRacing, or another title, most of your adjustments are going to be made in there to kind of meet your preferences, get the best fit and feel for you. And then I play a lot of Forza, which unfortunately that title has really struggled. A lot of people are struggling to get the best wheel settings for that particular title. So it all depends on the game that you're actually running as well. So as far as my first experiences and just kind of running this wheel for the past couple weeks on a few different titles, I gotta say I absolutely love it. I was a little bit surprised going to the wheel. I thought it would be a pretty easy transition, but going from a gamepad, it definitely takes a little bit of adjustment. But once you get used to it, it is definitely more immersive, no doubt. As far as like your lap times and speed, depending on the title, I don't know. I think in the long run, when you learn the wheel and shifting, I think it will be much faster. One thing I noticed off the bat though is with all the level of detail and feel and having a little bit, wider range of motion when it comes to the wheel compared to a tiny joystick on a gamepad, is you tend not to push the car as hard, and then it also helps a lot with tire degradation. So I did notice the deg was a lot better going to the wheel, and probably part of it was I wasn't pushing as hard. Then the other part was too, you just have a lot more range of motion out of a wheel than you do a tiny joystick where, if you're a little bit too heavy by like millimeters, maybe even nanometers on the sticks, it can, push the car a little bit too hard and really wear down your tires faster. So I definitely wanted to throw some kind of tidbits of information in my experiences transitioning to the wheel. As far as titles go, I think as far as the driving experience, so far I love Aceta Corsa Competizione. I think that's my favorite right now as far as the driving experience. I love Forza, and have for quite a while. I've played since Forza Motorsports 2. Granted, I didn't play every title in between now and then, but quite a few. Love the game and kind of the principles that they've gone with in the game as far as acquiring cars, leveling them up. The track selection's pretty good. Functionally though, the game's kind of a mess right now as it's launched very recently. Multiplayer was kind of non-existent there for a little bit, so that was very unfortunate. And what I mean by that is, I know my friends and I tried to queue into lobbies numerous times and we could not get into a lobby. We didn't have kind of the infinite loading screen when selecting a car, and just a number of issues. I won't go too far into it, maybe for another video. The original Aceta Corsa is definitely one I have to shout out. I was able to pick up one of the premium versions on Steam during the November sale for around $10. So a little bit older title, but it's very well known and refined. And the big thing with Aceta Corsa is the mods community and the content manager. So you can really customize the game and kind of bring it up to date a little bit, get some different cars that you like to drive, different tracks. It gives you so much variety, and I think that's what makes it really good. The last title I've touched on is F1 2023. I played a touch of 2022 just because it was on Game Pass, but I think F1 2023 was a big upgrade graphically, and as far as some of the features, everything just seems a little bit more refined. It's a great title as well, but I think it does step away a little bit from the simulation that you get from something like iRacing or Aceta Corsa. And if you are looking for top level simulation, it's probably going to be iRacing. I have not touched iRacing yet, and I think it's a bit out of my league right now, but it might be something I try in the future. So I think that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Thank you for checking this one out. Just kind of wanted to do a quick hardware rundown of the FANATEC CSL DD ready to race system that I've picked up as I've been getting into sim racing. And just to disclose, nothing was sponsored in this video, but I gotta say there's really nothing bad I have to say about this setup. I've really enjoyed it so far, and I'll be honest too, I don't really have anything to compare it to. But I think if you are in the market and you have the budget to go into a direct drive system like this, kind of getting away from some of the lower end belt drive setups like some of the Logitech G29s and other systems like that from maybe Thrustmaster, I think it's definitely worth the money. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like on it, and if you want to see more tech related videos like this one, be sure to subscribe. As always, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.